I think it's in The Alchemist.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I've remixed it my own way. Basically, every time I face fear, I feel like at the back of that there's growth. So there's that moment where you're scared, and then it hits me that
if I just
but
push
if I
that
just
door,
overcome
yeah,
that, there's growth, and that's what I've been looking for my whole life is to constantly be growing.
yeah, because we're learning every single day. Nobody
Every
is
time.
an expert, of life, because we're all figuring it out ourselves, as you say.
You're figuring out as you go. You don't take the risks. Chances are you'll stay in the same place. So every time I face fear, that's what I tell myself all the time. That okay, you know, you're going for this interview or you're going to pitch this. And another thing, for things like that, they're not actually saying no to you.
That's true. It's actually welcome. Be you, do you. We are here to welcome the one and only Jay.
Thank you for having me.
No worries. And
It's
look
been
at
a
his
long
book.
time.
I know it has. Like, when did we meet?
I think it was September last year. It must have been. It was in the summer.
Yeah. With last year?
Yeah.
Or the year before?
No, it was last year. It was the event in Leicester Square.
Yes. When
Well,
was
near
that? A
Leicester
year ago? Like
That was in
was
the
it March?
summer. Wasn't
No,
it?
or yeah, maybe June, July.
Yeah, probably. Nearly.
It wasn't
yeah,
there.
no.
It wasn't.
Yeah,
It was
nearly,
actually a
yeah.
nice day that day.
Yeah, it was a great event actually.
Yeah, it was, because that's where you're connected. You see, guys, you can still have relationships and build them. And yeah, it's been a year. You have done so much. Tell me, like, how are you? Who is Jay?
Great question. Actually, when you say I've done so much, it's crazy because I don't feel that way.
Yeah, I know.
I don't feel that way because it's just been my life. I haven't taken time to look back and actually measure it. I don't really compare to anyone else's goals. It's just my timeline. To answer your question, who is Jay?
Yeah.
My first name is James, actually. James, Jay. Everyone calls me Jay.
It's funny because, yeah, you told me Jay, but it's funny on social media, like on your LinkedIn, is it James or?
Yeah, it's
yes.
James. So my first name is James,
Okay.
but everybody calls me Jay.
Okay.
Since a child, my whole childhood been called Jay. And also growing up with a name called James,
Yeah.
It wasn't really the coolest name. So,
So you remixed it like
so
Jay.
like Jay. So that is the name that I go by, Jay. Jay is a social entrepreneur at heart. I believe in living with a purpose. Haven't always been like that. It took certain events in my life to get me to this point, which I don't look at as regret or bad things, but I feel they happened for me to become the person I am today. When you read the book, you probably find out certain things about me which will make you really fully understand my journey. A lot of people have been saying, Jay, it's time you tell your story, but I don't feel I'm at that point yet.
To be able to tell it.
Yeah, I can give you the first part, the first 20 years of my life where I managed to stay alive and, do something positive. But I haven't reached a point yet where I feel that my full story will be truly beneficial to our next generation, anything like that. I still have a good 60 years of my life to live. That's how I'm feeling.
I like that.
Yeah.
60 years. You're planning to live another 60 years.
I plan to live long.
Good. Keep healthy. Yes. So when you say that you didn't start as an entrepreneur, how did you become it? For the ones that maybe think, okay, I don't have it. What?
It was really through my upbringing. I personally believe I was well parented.
Yes.
My parents have so much leverage on me. So through that, I realized the power of kindness. I realized how it can be cool and also karma is practical.
Yes.
Whether you like it or not. So let me take you back actually.
Of
Let
course.
me take you back to 9-year-old Jay, going to school.
Yeah, tell me how that was.
Actually, have you seen the movie The Boy Who Harnessed the Wind?
Nah, I'm not.
You
I don't.
have to.
Okay.
You have to.
I'm not a film girl, but I will watch it. Okay.
This is one I'm recommending. You have
Okay.
to watch it. There's a scene in that movie where, by the way, it's filmed in Malawi.
Okay.
There's a scene in that movie where the boy goes to school, and it's his second day of school. His parents haven't paid his school fees, and he has to be sent back home.
Okay.
So, 9-year-old Jay witnessed that a lot, you know, growing up in Africa. I saw that a lot. I saw that happen to my classmates. Once happened to me, you know, but not that many times, because I was fortunate enough my parents could provide for me. So through seeing those things, through seeing people lacking basic education, and then eventually moving to this country, and then having to find myself again, and like, okay, no friends, no idea how the system here works. You know, you're a teenager in your early teenage years, you're just trying to fit in, and so you're doing everything, and you're getting in trouble, and then eventually you hit your early 20s and you realize, okay, this is not me anymore. Everything I've done is me trying to fit into society, to fit into the people I now call friends, to fit into what I now call life. But it's really not the Jay, the 9-year-old Jay who witnessed all these things and developed like not a hunger, but this feeling.
It is, yeah, sort of hunger, something.
Yeah,
you're reaching like, for more.
Yeah, this feeling of, they say immigrants have a chip on their shoulder, and they always want to do something, and then whether they're sending the money back home or helping the parents, but immigrants have that chip on their shoulder that they want more. So I was at an age in my early 20s where I felt I'm trying to be something I'm not. You know, I'm not from a first world country. You know, I know nearly 500,000 people to 1 million people who'd give to be my place right now and do better with this situation. So it's those moments where you have to look at yourself in the mirror and say, okay, how we moving forward?
So you were not born here, you say?
I wasn't born here. I was born in Zimbabwe.
Okay.
I was born in a place called Bulawayo. It's like the second biggest city there.
Okay.
So it wasn't really the capital city. But I did travel a few countries. So I saw a lot when I was young.
Your parents changed jobs, or was it just moving around?
It was moving for a better situation. You know, for a better economic climate, to be honest with you. And my sister was really studying here, and my mother came, and so we all came here, and this is now what we call home. But then you can't just forget where you're from.
No.
That thing is still behind you. You know there's people who'd give everything to be in your situation.
So home for you is Zimbabwe?
Definitely.
Or are you still searching for it?
I think I've traveled a lot. So home doesn't necessarily have to be where I was born. It's where I feel...
It's where the heart belongs. And that's why I'm asking, because I know right now, I born in England, but then as of 14 months, left England. So I've traveled like 12 times. So, you know, moving, that's why my question, you know, it really depends. And maybe you don't have an answer right now. And
I haven't found home yet, to be honest with you. I haven't found home. When I travel, I always try and mix with, like, I stay away from the tourist stuff. I try and mix with, I go deep into the communities, mix with the locals, just to get a feel, you know? So, and obviously, most of the time, they always look much happier than I thought they'll be. You know? On my wrist. No, because...
But it's true.
It's so true, because they sell us these images of, oh, these people in the slums of India are so unhappy. And I get there, they invite me into their homes, and I'm like, you're happy. Like, you're really happier than I thought. And they're just very welcoming. And it's like we've known each other for years. And getting those type of responses from the people, it really makes me think, like, the more I travel the world, where will I settle? You know?
Yeah, like you'd want like a small seed on one side, and then one in Asia, and one in Japan, and then one in Australia or South America.
So it raises the question, where is home at this point? At this point, I don't know.
Okay.
But I've been welcomed very well everywhere I went.
Okay.
Including this country. So I appreciate it.
So my next question is for you, Le Noir Foundation. So tell me about that, because you were in India. How was that? Plus you went to the slums. I just want to know how this whole project came to life. Why India? Why? I have so many questions, guys. So many questions.
I'll tell you something. I never started thinking that I'd go to India.
Okay.
You know, it was my first year in university, and I wanted to do something to give back.
Yeah.
I actually started with homeless people in London, but that failed because I had no support, and they really, after a few months, I realized that I'm not the best person to help them. Then I asked myself the question again. I went back to my mission and values. What do I value the most? You know?
I love that when you say go back to your values.
Yeah.
If a door closes or if it doesn't sit right with your spirit, you need to find what works for you and reconnect, as you say, your values.
Exactly, and we should practice that more in many situations, because I also had to think, what value do I bring? I've never been homeless. Who am I to try and help them in this situation? I've never been a drug addict. I've never been an alcoholic. So I've realized, okay, I have the right intention, but I'm not the right person.
But you haven't experienced it, so it's very difficult, and people sense it without you being it. Then that's why as you say, it's important to be authentic and to know your value, what works for you. You know, growing in Zimbabwe in Africa, how it felt, to go to school compared to someone that's here. So yeah, your story.
So I realized at that moment that what changed my life. The minute everything changed is when I decided to be a reader.
Oh, wow.
That's it. So I realized education changed my life. As an immigrant anyway, that's in your family from when you're a child, you know that education is going to rescue us from this situation. So that's when I went back, the Noir Foundation, went back to the website, redesigned, rewrote our values, decided who I'm going to work with, Luckily enough, and it's crazy because the law of attraction is something which I've harnessed for a long time now, because while I was doing that, a guy called Pratik got in contact with me.
So how do you know him? He just contacted you from out of the blues?
Out of the blue on Facebook. Wow. He just contacted me and he said, hey, I'm doing this, I'm struggling, I need your help. And guess what I did? I ignored him.
Why did you do?
I thought I was being spammed. I thought, okay, another scammer. I ignored him. He was persistent. I think it was at least 5 weeks when I was like, okay, let me see what you've got. I took a look. I saw his work. I actually had a chat with him, and we just connected instantly, because he's from Delhi, born and raised, never left the country, but he just has that desire to do something for his people, And funny enough, at the time, he was also helping the homeless, but he was very, very smart guy. And, right now he designs apps for companies in Europe. So I quickly realized this is a really smart guy, and we connected on the education bit. I said to him, look at you. You are where you are because of education. Look at me. We might be two opposite parts of the world.
But on one thing you guys can connect on.
There's one thing. So if we are going to do something, I'm happy for it to be via education. I believe we can somehow make a difference, bit by bit. And this was 3 years ago. Yeah, 3 years ago.
A project of 3 years ago. That's amazing.
Yeah. And it's crazy because people speak to me now and like, oh, that's out of the blue. You've opened a school. How did you do that? Like, it's not out of the blue. I've been working for this
thing for 3 years. I mean, even if the project had started long before, but it needed twisting, turning, arrangements to see what it is. Yeah,
there's
definitely
hundreds of hours of put into this, talking to people, trying to get people to buy in with the cause. So we started sponsoring a number of children. We partnered up with a school in Delhi. But the problem is, the school, we were only good for the school when we were giving something. We never received anything back from them, as in we never received any data if we're actually making a difference.
Yeah, that's my question. I was about to say.
It's great to give the children books and pencils and stuff.
But are they using it, or is it work? Yeah, that's so.
When we ask for this stuff from the school, it's not. They didn't play ball. They got a bit, in defense mode. Like, we can get other sponsors, and that's when we went back again and said, no, we can't do this anymore. We need our own school, which was quite audacious at that time.
That's actually audacious, but at the end of the day, I must say, you don't know where your money is going because you're wanting to grow it. And I've heard a lot of, company or a lot of organizations where you'll give the money, but then they'll buy TVs or they'll buy some other stuff, or you don't know where the money's going because you're like, hello, but that is really smart of wanting to do your own thing.
You don't know if you're actually making a difference. It's great to give £9 a month to your favorite charity, but if you don't have the data, I'm a data guy. I need to know if my £10 made a difference this month. Yes, I feel good that I gave some money.
No, but it also is because you want to empower, so you want to add more value.
So when he started scouting locations, once again, when you're doing something positive out there, I guess it's sort of like my relationship with the universe. It always puts me in a path of, okay, so you want to do this, I'll bring it to you somehow, but you have to be smart enough to identify the opportunity. Because opportunities are thrown at us every day.
It's how you receive them and how you grab them.
How you grab it, how you even identify, oh, that was an opportunity, follow up on every lead, do your homework. So he was scouting locations, and eventually he found it was an old shop which was it's the size of these 2 office rooms.
Really?
And it had no floor. It was just 3 walls.
Just walls.
Just walls. Basically, barely plastered.
Okay.
And then
not even
don't
like
even
a roof on
the
top.
ceiling.
Yeah.
So the owner said, hey, I think you guys are a bit crazy, but I'll give you a shot.
Okay.
I'll give you a shot. First couple of months, no rent. Let's see what you do with it. I've seen your work currently on your website with other schools. I believe in you guys. Do it. I think it was that moment where, there's moments in your life where it's like, shit, this is no longer my pursuit anymore. It's not just something on the bucket list anymore.
No, it's something that is coming to reality, and you're like, okay, we're either in or out. Like you opt in, you opt out. There's no turning back.
Really, because
even because you have like an entrepreneur spirit, how can you turn back when you have that?
How can you live with yourself?
I don't know. I couldn't. Okay.
You really can't. So in India, basic labor is quite affordable. I think £1 is equal to 91 rupees. So I think that's the strength we had. That whatever funds are raised here, they really go a long way there.
Yeah.
So we managed to get the workforce to do the floors, replaster the walls, ceiling, painting,
just to make it also welcoming and safe for kids too,
Yeah, and we didn't even have a air conditioning, or the floor gets cold in winter, and then when it's hot, we have air conditioning, and it gets too hot.
Yeah, nothing compared to London here.
Yeah, so we had the first few months, we had the kids sitting on the floor.
Oh, babies.
Yeah, we just had like a rug.
I know, but you got to start with what you have.
Yeah.
I mean, that's it. If I may ask, how much was the rent? How much is rent over there, monthly, compared to here?
Basically, I'll give you some rough numbers. For a month, you're looking at around total cost without the teachers. It's about £140. Okay. So what we do not provide any meals. Okay, we provide the uniforms, the textbooks, the teachers, and also there's another lady who helps take the kids to the toilet, or if they're ill, she takes them back home. All of that stuff.
Interesting.
So you're looking around the £200 figure a month just to have that just to have that going.
Rent, all that
Yeah.
going just for okay.
Yeah, so you're looking at roughly around that. But obviously, when we started, we took on a lot of kids.
Yes.
Yeah. We are.
You guys are visionaries.
We thought.
So how many kids did you
we
guys
took on a lot
have?
of kids, but luckily, my partner Pratik is very, very very smart. What we did was we started a register.
Okay.
Because we noticed that some of the parents were using the place as a daycare. So they need to go somewhere, they'll come dump the kid there. So it was like, okay, we've given you something for the community to help your kids, and
you're just dumping, yeah.
And I was like, okay. So the 3-week period went where we're monitoring the register. So the kids were just coming in and out once a week, twice a week. So we sat down with the parents and said, hey, unfortunately, we have these 30 kids who are serious and these 30 parents who want the best for their kids. At this point, we can't take on your kids. It wasn't an easy decision.
Yeah, of course, it's
We had parents crying at the door. It wasn't easy. It was really one of the hardest things.
So that was when you were back in India. You did that, or how did you do that?
That Pratik did that.
Okay.
So the very second
because
day,
he's back in
he's
India.
back
Okay.
there. I was saying, when we decided to have a set number of students,
Yeah.
we had to let the parents know why.
Yeah.
It wasn't an easy thing to do, like I said, but it made sense going forward because we're forward thinkers.
Yes.
If this school is to survive, we need help from the community. This is exactly why when the parents came in, my first day there, sat down with the parents, I wasn't expecting, any sort of anger from them. I thought they'll be really, really happy that...
I'm really grateful that you brought this thing to life. I mean, hello.
You would actually think that they'll be grateful. Some were grateful, but there were those that raised concerns like the aircon. Like, oh, why don't they have a projector? Why don't they have a chalkboard? At the time we were using a flipboard, the paper. Yeah,
of course,
that's what
you
we
know this.
could
Yeah. No.
So, having all those things thrown at me, and this is my first day in India. The thing that really hits you in India is the number of people.
Yeah, because you had never been to India, so this was like your first thing, and humans everywhere.
Yeah, there's a lot of people, and there's constant car horns going off. It's a lot. So I'm still like trying to get my, just
finding a place where you can feel sort of like okay with and grounded.
First day, we drive into this slum that's expanding in Delhi, and I'm like, wow, okay, I've seen this on TV, but it's really like the movie Slumdog Millionaire. It was really like that. I was like, okay, I'm really deep into it now. I've always said don't do tourist stuff. Well, this is it.
God
Jay.
is just showing you that this is what you're doing.
So the parents are throwing questions at me.
Okay.
So I decided not to answer any of those questions. So I
Smart.
took them back and said, this is how the school started, because we saw this problem, and for the school to go forward, because this is not our school, this is the community school. We need your help. Yes, we do not have the chairs and the tables right now. We do not have the chalkboard. We do not have the aircon. We understand that, yeah. But what we've done so far, and listed everything we've done, and what I expect from them, that caught them a bit off, by surprise, and they realized that,
it's not only just you. It's
not
like, as you
just
say,
me.
it's community.
The school
It's working
is for the community.
together.
The future of the school, the future of their children is in their hands. I can only do so much, and this is what I've done so far, and this is what I expect them to do. And after that, it was all smiles, and then,
and I think at the end of the day, they didn't really know who you were. So, as a stranger, they just wanted to know because they saw your other partner, but maybe not you. Or
when they finally saw me, it was sort of like, oh, that means he's bringing more money into the place, but that's not why I was there, because I had a conversation with one of them after, and she invited me to her house, and and she offered me tea and everything. And my doctor was like, "Don't drink anything from there. Don't drink. Put these tablets in the water before you drink." But you're in someone's house, they've invited you. You can't
Excuse
just be
me,
like,
I just can't talk to you right now. Let me get my tablets.
So I was having this conversation, and I realized from speaking to them, they believe that everyone in the West is really well off.
And that's the thing that we have a problem with.
Yeah.
Because we have a lot of people coming to Europe or the States or wherever it is, and they think that we are all wealthy. Now, we are wealthy in our mind and where we are, depending on. We have riches. It's just there are things when you create something, you don't have the income yet because you got to build it. Now, it will come, but everybody has that. Yeah, I'm going to Italy because there's money. Child. Sit your ass down.
It's a process, and we spoke about a few things. She told me about her story growing up in the slum and how now she works in the hotels and what she wants for her kids. And it was quite like I was happy to know that there's at least one person who really appreciates the hard work, and we threw in the meditation, and the yoga as well, which calms the kids a bit.
So you guys do that too. So you
the
teach?
curriculum.
Yeah.
Let me give you an example. The curriculum is basic math, English, Hindi, and yoga and meditation. Okay. So in between, there's what we call mind breaks, basically. So before the kids even start doing a math class in the morning, they'll do their stretches. They'll do their yoga, they do their English, have lunch, come back. So now you need to calm them down again because they're about to do math. So that's why we put these things in between, and and we gave them these bright uniforms, and the mother was saying that how her son now carries himself differently when he's walking through the slum in that uniform. He holds it with pride that I go to that school, and it's those little things, and it's like it's really not my own pursuit anymore.
It's gone from one seed of an idea to where it is now, and I'm sure it's gonna grow so much more.
That's the vision we have. We have a vision for it to grow, and it will be sad to see the first batch of kids leave when they grow older and go to another school.
To go to somewhere else because
they are the founding kids.
They
so
have
you
because
have a connection.
You brought that to them, you as you say, for you had a great growing up background where your parents were really supportive, and in some level you're doing the same thing but for the kids, but having as you say, the kid wears his uniform with pride because he likes it, and that on an attitude for a child, if he's born with that and you teach him the right way, it will go so much further because our brain remembers so much. So I think that is amazing.
And I always say to my nephew before he leaves home to school that you are enough. You are enough. Though you don't need to seek validation elsewhere
from others.
You are enough. So
how old is your nephew?
He's 9 now, and it's crazy because I can see when he picks up things from outside. And I'm like, no, you don't need to walk like that or talk like that. Just, no, you are enough.
Yeah, you just need to be yourself.
Yeah. And it's something I repeat to him every day, but I'm hoping one day it sticks. So it's the same thing with those kids. I want them, because they are the founding kids, and when they leave their school, wherever they go.
Yeah, this is like your first founding. Oh, too cute. So,
I really, really bonded with them on my time there. We did the yoga together, and the last day it was quite sad because my first day there they were so shy, they wouldn't come around to talk to me.
And now that you're
now when I was leaving, it was a 30-minute goodbye. Wow. It was really, really like I got back to the hotel that day, and it was hard to look in the mirror. I was like, wow.
Yeah, you've made a huge impact. So when you say there are more schools that you want to do, because I read that you wanted by 2022 you're wanting to also build it in Africa, and what's the vision?
The vision is to build schools and libraries.
Schools and libraries, okay.
Yeah. The good news is we've partnered up with an orphanage in Uganda this year, and we're building a library. You know, we did a great event on Friday. I have the right team now. I have the right ambassadors as well, and that will be the first library. The reason it's not a school is because I know I don't have the infrastructure for that school to continue on. It can be done, but I don't have the right relationships right now for me to feel secure that that school will continue. So we will build a library.
So yeah, library seemed like better for.
Yeah, a library seems the better option there right now. You know, and a library is just 2 rooms, and we've got cloud software to keep track of all the books, and it's easier to get donations for books as well.
Yeah, because people here don't really seem to read books. So when they finish, they just like put it away. So
yeah, most people read on Kindle now, or
Yeah,
they listen to
yeah.
audiobooks.
Yeah, yeah.
And, you know, so it's easier to get books. So far, I've got like 600, 500 books.
okay.
You know, so I know that that's possible by next year to open our first library in Uganda. As soon as I build a bigger team, have better relationships in different parts of Africa, then we'll focus on the 4 more schools. I could go for 10 schools, 20 schools, but I'm playing for keeps. I'm playing for legacy, you know.
For quality.
Yeah, for quality.
Not quantity.
Yeah, don't care about the quantity, you know. Unless I'm a big organization like Pencils of Promise, who have 500 schools, but they've managed to keep the quality. But it's through, you know, it's
by starting, as you say, with
yeah,
with
it
1,
started small.
2,
Yeah,
3. You know, it didn't start big.
Yeah, so that is the vision, you know, 2022, and
Okay.
I don't think it's not possible.
No,
It's
I mean it's all
definitely-
possible. I mean,
yeah.
you know, if you've done already one, what stops you for the rest?
Yeah, and
So why did you incorporate yoga with the kids? Why
Because-
that? Meditation? Are you a practitioner?
no, not yet.
I like that. Not yet.
Not yet. I'll tell you something. Right. I didn't even know about meditating and yoga and all that stuff. I started reading.
Mm.
I started following certain people. These people are leaders.
Mm.
And I realized that in their spare time, guess what they do? They meditate. So why? You know, if I'm following Russell Simmons or something, yeah, he's built a great empire. He knows what he's doing, and he meditates, you know, for every day. Why? There must be something there that's good for him, and I want to know what it is. You know, I've read the books he's read. You know, I've taken the actions he's taken, but so when I dabbled into yoga and all this, it's probably the hardest thing to do the first time because your mind just wanders.
Of course, it just like wanders
Yeah.
everywhere. It's like, okay, I gotta eat, I
And-
gotta do this.
And you're like sitting there, like thinking, waiting. You think your mind will stop thinking, but then the minute
That
that
does not
happens, you
work.
start thinking. And I'm like, okay. So I started listening to just audios of sounds before I sleep.
Okay.
And I realized I have
Like
a deeper
brainwave
sleep.
or something, yes.
I realized I have a deeper sleep. So I realized, okay, this is calming me down. This is actually, besides just reading and physical exercise, I have to have a relationship with myself, like a
Yeah.
spiritual thing.
Be aligned.
Yeah, I have to be aligned. I have to have a full circle, you know. So I read more on yoga, and also every time I would be stressed on the phone with fatigue, he'd be like, "Oh, you should meditate." I'm like, "What
Meditate.
do you mean meditate? We're trying to raise money here."
Yeah. Don't tell me meditate.
Tell me meditate. And then, yeah, so I started putting it in practice, you know.
Okay.
And it's really, I would advise anyone who suffers from stress just to take time and do it. You won't get it right the first 20 times. But
I mean,
over
that's it.
time-
Meditate is so different. As you say, like you
Yeah.
started with just listening to brainwaves. You could also just listen, as you say, like there's so many apps now today. Like I'm thinking of Headspace, like
Headspace and Calm.
or Calm, you know,
Yeah.
just things that relax your body, as you say.
We actually use Calm at the school.
Okay.
So we, in the beginning when they do the chanting, like just play it out loud and just sit
Okay.
there. Yeah, I have a video of it. It's lovely.
Really? Okay, I have to see this.
So, yeah, we use those apps, and even I use those apps for myself, you know, and
Yeah, you gotta try and test what works for you.
Exactly. You know, we live in London. It's very stressful. It's very, very stressful. We hardly see each other.
Yeah.
You know, so
We're just so busy.
so you have to find time just to say, hey, stop. Let me switch off. Let me relax. Let me restart. And that really helps.
Yeah. So when you say, so we talked about you when you faced, did you face fear?
A lot.
All the time?
All the time.
Yeah.
I think through traveling, especially you're by yourself, going to crazy places.
Yeah, that's it. You went to India, but you don't really know. I mean, you saw your partner, but only online, right?
Yeah,
so
like that was actually the first time we'd met, but he felt like
after
a
3
brother.
years. Yeah, because you guys have
All
connected,
the
so
time,
it's
yeah. It's
but
like-
even then, like when you give a minute,
Even then,
you're
it's
seeing a
like-
stranger.
Yeah, even then, like when I first saw him, when we literally first locked eyes, it didn't hit me there. It hit me on the journey to the hotel. I was like, oh shit. This is actually the first time we've met. But I felt like he's a brother, you know, the bond is really strong, and we're connected by that one thing, that purpose. And I think
It's funny because when we're taught these things when we're younger, we're always taught like, don't speak to strangers, don't do this, don't do that. But today, our relationships are in people that we don't necessarily know that will become, of course, I'm not saying today, you know, as I didn't say as of today, like go outside and go talk to everybody and anybody. I didn't say that, okay? But, you know, from somebody that reached out to you that you ignored for 5
you know
weeks.
we were raised at our parents were raised at a completely different time. You know, our parents are much happier to parents today are much happier to put their child in a car with someone they don't know than letting the child drive alone home. So I'll put you in an Uber, I feel you're safe with a stranger. You know, you go on a date with someone you met online. Before, that was outrageous. You know, that
Oh
was
yeah,
like,
last time I would, when I was younger, I remember these conversations I would have with my girlfriends, and they'd be
weird.
like, I met this guy, and I'm like, you met him where? Like, you can't talk no more up to the person? Yeah.
It's a completely different time.
It is. But that is interesting.
I think to go back to your question, never faced fear. There's a
And how'd you overcome it?
I think it's in The Alchemist. Well, I've remixed it my own way. Basically, every time I face fear, I feel like at the back of that there's growth. So there's that moment where you're scared, and then it hits me that
if I just
but
push
if I
that
just
door,
overcome
yeah.
that, there's growth, and that's what I've been looking for my whole life, is to constantly be growing.
Yeah, because we're learning every single day. Nobody
Every
is
time.
an expert, you know, of life, because we're all figuring it out ourselves, as you say.
You're figuring out as you go. You don't take the risks. Chances are you'll stay in the same place. You know, so every time I face fear, that's what I tell myself all the time. That okay, you know, you're going for this interview or you're going to pitch this. And another thing, for things like that, they're not actually saying no to you.
That's true. It's actually when you pitch to someone and when you talk to them, it's no,
It's-
I don't like you. It's
Yeah.
no because it doesn't align with me.
Thank you. That's it.
And that's it. But when you look at
That's
it and
it.
you break it down, sometimes I have to do the same thing and I'm like, person didn't say no, it's just because he or she is not ready for it. That's okay.
I used to take these things personally.
Yes.
But then again, I realized there's ego in place. What's really hurt is your ego.
And ego is not, it's just your body, your mind saying, your carnal mind just saying, no, you shouldn't. When if you extract yourself from it, it's nothing.
Never lead with your ego.
Yeah.
Never lead with your ego, because
Never lead with your ego. I like that.
you always take it personally. You affect the decisions you make, and if you're going to be a leader, unfortunately, the decisions you make affect other people.
Any way you do, nobody's gonna like you 100%, or you're not gonna get always yeses and always no. You're always gonna get someone. And it's so funny when you say that, because when somebody says no to us, we could have had, as you say, amazing yeses, great opportunities, but we stick to that one thing that just did not work, and it's just like, dude, why?
Exactly. Imagine if life was a bunch of yeses.
We would be sitting here talking.
Life was a bunch of yeses.
Yeah.
we wouldn't be the people we are today. You know, you have to face that adversity, that rejection, all of that. You have to face it, and you just always have a positive outlook. Be an optimist.
Yeah.
It's simple as. Be an optimist.
Yeah, like always look at the good, even in an outcome that just wasn't the way you thought it should go. So yeah, you said fear and how to overcome it. Always that small little thing where you see what is behind at the back of it. You know, like open the door. I'll peek and see what it is. And so when we started, you said you're an entrepreneur. What do you call yourself?
Social entrepreneur.
Social entrepreneur. Why social entrepreneur?
Because every business I do is for a purpose. It's usually for a cause, a good cause. Yeah. There's nothing wrong with for-profit businesses. There's nothing wrong with that, which is, I think, anyone that's doing a business, I support that. But for me, I know what drives me. I know what keeps me awake at night. You know, when I'm doing a business and I'm not getting enough sales or something and I'm stressed out, it's that purpose that drives me to make things work. It's because I'm doing this for that. I'm going to use these profits for that cause. That's why I wrote the book, and that's why exactly I explained in the book. You know, if you are doing a non-profit organization, which I rarely refer to Lenoir Foundation as a non-profit, because I find that it changes the conversation in certain circles.
So what is it then?
It is a non-profit, but I call it a for-purpose, because it is a for-purpose. Because when you say non-profit, automatically people think, okay, he's about to ask me for some money or something.
Yeah, that is true. Yeah, now that I'm thinking about it, yeah.
When you go to certain circles, you know, and you're meeting up with all these big people, the minute you mention non-profit, it's sort of like, okay, I can't do business with this guy, you know, because they automatically think you're going to ask for donations or some sort of help, you know. So it's a for-purpose business. I'm doing business just like you, you know, but my business uses its profits for this cause. Simple as. That alone is a different statement from saying, yes, we're a non-profit business, blah, blah. You know, you might as well just say we're a charity.
Yeah.
And also, I don't like asking for money. It's something I'm uncomfortable with. Yeah. So every time I always think of a way to have a product, sell that product, take 51% of the profits and support a cause. Simple as that. And that's social entrepreneurship right there. You know, there are many businesses out there. We were speaking earlier, the coffee shops in East London do it a lot. Most of those independent coffee shops are social enterprises. Most of them. They're supporting some sort of cause.
Okay, I didn't know that back in East London.
Yeah, they are. You know, Shoreditch, there's a few there. Dalston, a lot to opening up.
Okay.
Yeah. So, but unless they say that,
of course,
everyone else just says, "Oh, that's a great coffee shop," you know. Yeah. But they'll never go out there and say, "Hey, we're a non-profit business."
Yeah.
No,
please, money this side. No. Welcome the other side. Okay.
And there's nothing wrong with being a charity if you're comfortable asking for money and you can show that you're actually, you know, making a difference. Go for it. You know. But for me, I've always had a chip on my shoulder. I know that I have to provide some sort of value to get something.
Yeah,
back.
even for people to understand, I think when you show them what this is, it brings a connection. It's not, okay, I'm just doing this and then the money is going for that and that's it. No, you want to know what it is for. So it's a story. So I think that's great because you're bringing something that is unique to you, as you say. So yeah, amazing for that. So we nearly need to wrap up. So we have the Olivia Igwe questions.
Oh yeah, the question, the infamous question. Yes. I'll tell you what. I listened to some of the episodes on your podcast. There's a lady with the blonde hair, Petra.
Yes.
That's her.
Petra Fosters. Yeah.
That was a good interview.
Yeah. Very. She's very.
she's
straightforward, but so organic. When I met her literally at an event, and then we were like, why don't we do it?
Yeah, I had to look her up immediately. I was like, I have to see this person.
Yeah.
I have to see what she does. Eventually, hopefully, I'll work with her. But it's just how she was so raw. She's very self-aware as well.
Oh yeah, she's very connected, and she is aligned, and she knows exactly where she's going. And her strength is that she knows what to do. I mean, she knows her knowledge, so she only wants to share that. And that is when you know what you have and what you're given as a gift, and you can share it with undeniable faith that it will work. That is powerful.
And there was no guarantee that it could work, but it worked for her.
Because she was, for me, when she started with her knocking at the doors and that was
a beautiful interview.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, thanks for that.
Let me tell you quickly about the book. The book is Business Impact Brand.
Guys, you need to get it. I'm telling you. Now.
A lot of people ask me why business, why impact, why brand.
I was actually going to ask that.
I think we've covered most of this. It's basically these days.
We actually have.
Yeah, we have.
Guys, we've been aligned. We've talked about his business. We talked about the impact. You guys can't see, but it doesn't matter. And the brand. So, drop the mic.
Each one of us, every day, we are our own PR person. You're a brand.
Yeah,
I'm a brand.
You're a brand.
You didn't even set out to be a brand. I didn't set out to be a brand. But we're now a brand because of what we do. And the impact of what we do, the business is the transactions where we meet in the middle. Read the book, which is a little bit of my story, my humble beginnings, and to where I am and to where I'm going. And I hope we meet at the top.
Oh, yeah, we will. Well, we are connected. So, questions for you. What would you tell your younger self?
Knowing my younger self, probably wouldn't listen. But
let's say they listen now.
Okay. There's a few things I would say, but being you is much more important than being cool. I think that's the simplest way I could tell my younger self. I could say, be self-aware, be more positive. But knowing my younger self, being you is more important than being cool. Every mistake I made, my younger self,
was
trying to be cool. Something else. Yeah.
Or somebody that you were not.
Yeah. I've got...
So be you.
I've been in incidents in my life where I didn't even need to be there. But because I wanted to be cool.
That's where it led you to.
Exactly. But now look what's happened by me being me.
You're an author and you're a really good social entrepreneur.
So,
very successful. I speak that it will be.
I think that's the simplest way I could put it.
Okay.
And I know I'll probably listen in time with a bit of persuasion.
Yeah. Well, it would come to reality. So one skill set that someone would need in life.
You have to be self-aware. You have to be. I don't care what you do in life. If you don't know you, if you don't know your shortcomings, if you don't know your strengths, you have to get that in check before you start anything. It's like we're trying to build this building. We don't know what the weaknesses are. We don't know what the strengths are. It's just not going to stand up, will it? It's just going to have chips all over because we didn't focus on that first.
Yeah, so foundation is awareness.
You have to be self-aware, know your values, know your core values and your belief system. Simple as that. So one skill is being self-aware. Take time. Just ask yourself certain questions.
Self-aware and take time. Yeah. As you say with the meditation, taking time for yourself, being okay. So the two last questions. What is a fashion piece you cannot leave the house without?
Ooh, that's a really good question.
It could be anything from socks to underwear to a t-shirt to something that if you close the door, you're like, no, I gotta go back in. I can't.
It's not a fashion piece. It just has to be.
Or a necklace, or what? Men is different. I must say, women and men are very different. But I'm asking, so I don't know. Or perfume. I don't know what it is.
Oh yeah, I have to smell good. Look, I was told at a young age, you know, you don't have to, as a guy, you don't really have to look good. But if you're well spoken, you're well groomed, and you smell good, someone will like you.
That is
So,
true.
have
I
to
must
smell
say,
good.
a man that smells nice.
Yeah, you know, so I hope I smell good today, but yeah.
Yeah, it's okay. No, he smells nice.
So yeah,
Okay.
definitely you have to smell good as a man, be well groomed, someone will like you. Yeah.
Okay. And so first perceptions are very important, and that's what builds who you are. What is one thing you want people, if they haven't met you in the room and they come and see you, what is one thing you want them to remember you for?
Empathy. It's not something I've always had. Something I've had to, you know, it's like a muscle. I've had to grow it. I want them to leave, okay, I met Jay. Cool dude, very empathetic, self-aware. So, yeah, in every conversation I have, it's something that will definitely rise up. You know, I ask certain questions and people, you know, try not to be too judgmental. Because
it's difficult to not be judgmental. I mean, even not saying it out loud, like in your mind, it's just playing.
Yeah, I think I've said it before that people, when they first meet you, they ask you, what do you do? Like they say, by someone asking you that in London most of the time.
That's what you get, because it's just like automatic. So what you do?
They're trying to work out the level of respect they give you. So that's the first thing I crossed off my list. I don't care what you do. I want to know you. Okay? I don't care what you do to pay the bills. I want to know you. Through that, we can bond. And we do it all the time, and we're not self-aware that we're doing it. We're not aware that we're doing it. We ask people, oh, what do you do? Oh, what, you work at Costa Coffee?
Yeah.
You know, and automatically we start to treat people differently, but no.
At the end of the day, we're all equal. Like, we all do the same
Exactly.
things. You could meet, I don't know, a politician or whoever it is. It doesn't matter.
It doesn't
They're
matter.
equal.
Yeah. So through that and just empathy is how I want people to remember me, you know. And I always say that if when my time comes and I'm 85 years old, you know,
Yeah, you said 60 years old, you're gonna look at
when I'm 85 years old, you know, he gave more than he took. That's it. You know, it will be right there. Here lies Jay. He gave more than he took, and I'm good. That's all.
Powerful.
Yeah.
Where can the people find you?
Facebook.
Facebook.
I know the younger generation use Instagram, so I am being more active on Instagram
Yes!
now. And will do more content,
Okay.
because I get a lot of DMs, people asking me, oh, how can you do that? How can you do that? I know everything's available on Google, but people still come and ask me, hence why I wrote the book as well. So I will be more social on Instagram and Twitter. I've started using Twitter recently.
Yeah, I think you got to find the channel that works for you
Yeah.
at the end of the day. So, but that
I
is
think
good. Okay.
I stuck to Facebook because it was more Facebook has a different feel. It's more like your close friends and family, and then Instagram just runs wild.
Yeah, no, it does.
So yeah, but
But it's very creative.
it's it allows you
That's
to do
you can do so many things.
lot
and that's what's fun. That's why
Yeah.
I like Instagram, because you can blend with anybody and whoever you don't know. Whereas, Facebook, you have to be friends of friends.
Yeah, and people on Facebook are very conservative.
Yes. Whereas
on
Instagram
you
just
get
like
to see the real person.
you want to walk naked, I'll walk naked. I don't want to do you.
So actually, find me on Instagram.
Okay, I'll put all the links anyway. But
link
whilst
to the
you're
bottom.
listening, maybe you can,
Find me on
add in.
Instagram if you need a copy of the book, if you need any information on being a social entrepreneur, how you can start, how you can actually live your purpose. I'm always happy to answer your questions. I appreciate it.
Thank you so much. Yay, thank you. We finally made it. Thank you. So yeah, go and get the book, guys.